It's the end of tree planting season now, um, and I can't leave these trees here in bundles just in the ground, just healed in like they've been during tree planting season, so I need to put them somewhere safe. I've planted all the ones I can for this year, but yeah, little buds forming on them, so I need to get these dug up and put somewhere else. Bare root trees, as in trees that aren't in pots just with dug up, they can only be transplanted when they're dormant in the winter. Sort of any time from when the leaves have fallen off, like the end of October, to when they're sort of starting to bud in like late March. So they've got to be like put somewhere. So today I'm going to put them sort of in a nice neat row somewhere, nicely spaced out, and then I can grow them a little bit bigger, and then next year I can use them for tree planting season when they'll all be a little bit bigger. These blackthorns in particular are only 2 feet high. I'd really like to have them as 3 feet high to be able to compete with vegetation and things to get them going. So I'm going to put them all in a nice neat row today, and then I can use them next year. So I'm just basically going to dig a little trench here. This is a bit of future woodland for another year here, but I could just heal in this row of trees here. I could get it through the soil. Right. I don't know, a foot wide or something, foot deep, foot wide. The trees are quite small, mostly blackthorns. I think it's entirely blackthorns and hazels, which will be really useful for next year. And they are all quite small ones, so be useful to keep an eye, plant them somewhere where I can keep an eye on them until they get bigger for next year. I don't think I've got too many trees left, but I want to sort of just space them out, probably just 8 inches apart or something. They are quite small, and they'll just grow up like a thick row of them, and then next year I can dig them up and plant them individually where they're going to go. They're all shrub trees, so they grow well with other shrub trees. Just to make a nice little trench of them here. And this is an area I want to put up woods in the future year, but it's still barren at the moment, so it might go to some use, just keeping these little trees safe. And it's also quite close to the pond, so I can keep them watered until they're sort of established. I think that might be long enough, a bit wider maybe. And also break up these lumps, because it's easier to fill them in with a hole. They're broken up into lumps, and it's easier to get the trees nice and straight then. Right, that should do. Now I'll go off and get the trees. And now I dig up these bundles of trees. I want to save a few for putting in pots. There's a couple of hawthorns and a hazel, and then all these hazels can come out of the ground. I don't want to plant them straight away because I don't want to get these roots to dry out, but it's kind of a bit of a drizzly day today. And then this clump of blackthorns here as well, and I could just go and put them over there in the ground quickly before they dry out. Now I can just measure up these trees against this trench I've dug here and see if it's deep enough. Yeah, I reckon that looks okay. So I could just space them out sort of about 8 inches apart, sort of on both sides of the trench like that. It doesn't really matter if they're growing quite close together, they do kind of compete well, and it's only for a year. So there's another one, all the way along to the end, like that, another one there, another one there. And these are shrub trees, so they don't have to be perfectly straight. If I was growing like a big tall tree, it would have to be straight, but shrub trees are always throwing off branches different directions, so I'm going to try and keep them as straight as possible, but there's no need to keep them entirely straight here. Alright, so a few more in there, and I can put another one in there, and it should be good. Got another one there, and then quite a few that are a bit smaller, so they're going to go a bit closer together there. That's a bigger one, smaller one. Right, and then I've just got these ones, so all blackthorns here, and I could go there, and a few more can just put in there, I think. Right, oh, those two and those ones. Right, and then I can start putting this soil back in then. Just really put it in like so, just trying to keep them as straight as possible. And put that in there. And it's quite a heavy clay soil here. So by putting some right behind them, it can make them, it can make them like a bit straighter, you know. So as I'm putting the soil in, just chuck it in the trench there first, and then just to make it a bit straighter, just put a bit of soil in behind them like that. It doesn't have to be perfect. If I was doing this with bigger trees, like anything like oak or silver birch or something, you know, I'd want them to be perfectly straight, but shrubby trees, it doesn't really matter so much. Right, so straight as possible, all the way along here, like that. And it's really quick, really. And I'll just be happy here till next year. Just make sure that I've got all the bits covered, all the roots are covered, and the trees are as straight as possible. There's a few more bits of soil here. Just bung behind those ones, make them a bit straighter. And that one, a bit straighter. There we go. Right, and shove that down a little bit. Right, and now I'll go and get some water. We are due some rain, but then so far for ages there hasn't been very much rain, so I want to ensure they're properly watered. If it was earlier in the year and I was planting trees like December, January, February, I wouldn't usually water them unless it's very, very dry. But now, being at the very end of tree planting season, it's really important that they don't dry out. Ooh. It's very good to water with pond water. This is really nutritious and convenient and free. So just give them a load of water here. There's half a load with one bucket. And there's a bit more soil over here. A bit of a gap there. Put that in there. And that one there. Just tread it down a bit. And then take the other bucket, this end here. That'll be really good. And they'll be happy till next year. But if there's a dry spell, just like with a newly planted tree, I'll give them a water. If they were here for longer than a year, then the second year they wouldn't really need much at all. But I aim to get these planted for next year's tree planting season. It's nice to have a few trees to be able to plant in projects through the year. So I've just got a few here, just 2 hawthorns and a hazel tree. And I'm just going to use some of this slop from the slop quarry, which is nicely churned up water and topsoil. And taking all my tools back, so I'll have to use my hands. Took one in the bottom, and then there's that hawthorn tree. Just make sure the roots are nicely in, like that. And then just scoop up loads of this wet, sloppy mud. It's good. I put the trees somewhere where it's a little bit damp, not boggy or anything, but just a little bit damp. It just reduces the amount of times I have to water them. And sort of move them around a bit depending on how wet or dry it is. But I should hopefully get them planted soon. I just don't want them to dry out, you know. Once they budded where they were, I couldn't have touched them, you know, but now it's okay. But I don't want to sort of use them until the roots have made a root ball, so I probably wouldn't want to use them before maybe July or something, so I'll have to stay in pots for a while. Otherwise, when you take them out, the soil all falls apart, so you've got to leave them a little while to grow and for the roots to like establish. I'm going to fill that right up there. That's one. And then, where did I put the others? Oh, there they are. Right. Here I've got like a hawthorn and a hazel. If I'm planting a new bit of woods, I often plant these trees close together. So what I'm going to do here is just put them in a pot together. And then when I plant them, there'll be 2 trees together, 2 shrub trees, make a nice thick, dense new bit of wood somewhere. So I don't know exactly where they're going to go yet, probably a continuation of projects I'm doing, but it's just nice and really useful to have some trees in pots. Although on the other side, you've got to kind of look after them and water them, so it's more watering to have to do. But that's why I'm just doing a few, just like kind of useful little shrub trees. It might be kind of useful to do on a little bit somewhere. Hope I've got enough of this slop dog here. Just like my tools are all put away now. I just thought, oh, I really want some in pots. A little bit in there, and a bit more there. So these two grow really well together and form a nice thick bit of shrub tree, like thicket. So here we are. That's really good. So these two, I'll put them just away from this sloppy bit over here, so they're just in like a damp area and not somewhere that's standing in water. I'll just put them both there, and that's great. Just one final bare root tree to plant. This little alder tree dug up from the lawn here, self-seeded little alder, and that'll be nice here. It's where this path meets, where these two paths meet, just there. Nice little alder tree, quite a tall tree, but quite a thin tree, and one that quite likes the damp. Roots aren't very deep on alder trees, so it's, just need to dig a little bit this subsoil away here. That should do. And then got my little alder tree here, and up it there, so it looks kind of nice there. And some of this nice topsoil slop here, which is all nice like pulverised topsoil with water, just made to the right consistency, so I can make a nice little woodland slope here. But this bit's probably be a bit damp, so it'd be fine for an alder tree. And there's an oak tree about 15 feet over that way, a little oak tree. So this one will be just far enough away, and this is closer to the edge of the woods, so it doesn't get too kind of big and branchy. I might keep the bigger oak branches in check. So nice bit of slop around that. And this is very nutritious, this swamp slop stuff. Is the swamp slop quarry, and it's all got all sorts of like rotten swamp plants in it, and it's really good and nutritious. But all the trees are quite good at growing in poor soil nevertheless. So let's smooth that off, and this is the very last tree for this year's tree planting season, but bare root at least. So I've got a few trees in pots, but that's the bulk of the tree planting. Really, all of the bare root tree. This is the very last bare root tree for this year, and now I can concentrate on everything else. I've been got loads of trees this year, and quite a few self-seeded ones as well, and I got loads done, and I'm very pleased, but I haven't got all of them done, but that's okay, because those smaller trees, it would be more sensible to grow them another year to get them a bit bigger, because I like to have trees so they're big enough to compete with the other plants. Here it's a new bit, so it's okay. I've got smaller trees in here, but if I was planting them in some long undergrowth, I'd want them to be 3 feet high. Here it's I can keep an eye on them, and they should get quite big before the other plants get established. So that's brilliant. That's tree planting season over for another year, and I can focus on other things. That's brilliant. So I hope you liked today's video. If you did, please like and subscribe. If you press the little me, which is somewhere down there, you can see all my other videos and shorts. And if you have any questions, please do ask, and I shall see you next time.